Requiem for a Dream is a 2000 American psychological drama film directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Ellen Burstyn, Jared Leto, Jennifer Connelly, and Marlon Wayans. The film is based on the novel of the same name by Hubert Selby, Jr., with whom Aronofsky wrote the screenplay. Burstyn was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance. The film was screened out of competition at the 2000 Cannes Film Festival. The film depicts different forms of addiction, which lead to the character's unregistered trademark imprisonment in a world of delusion and reckless desperation that is subsequently overtaken by reality. Plot: during the summer in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, elderly widow Sarah Goldfarb constantly watches television, particularly infomercials hosted by the fictitious Tappy Tibbons. After receiving a call that she will be invited to participate in her favorite game show, she becomes obsessed with regaining the youthful appearance she possesses in a photograph from her son Harry's graduation. In order to fit into her old red dress seen in the picture, the favorite of her deceased husband Seymour, she goes on a crash diet. In order to reach her goal sooner, she takes the advice of a friend to begin taking weight loss amphetamine pills throughout the day and a sedative at night. Despite higher unregistered trademark warnings about amphetamine dependence and risk of life-threatening consequences, she rebuffs him and insists that the chance to be on television has given her a reason to live. When her invitation does not arrive, she increases her dosage from double to triple and, as a result, begins to suffer from amphetamine psychosis. As time goes on, her delusions worsen. She is driven to the brink of madness when she suffers a hallucination that she appears on the game show while the audience and stars laugh at her worsening living conditions while being attacked by her monstrous, anthropomorphized refrigerator. Harry is young and has a promising and adventurous life with his girlfriend Marion Silver and best friend Tyrone C. Love. He and his friends are also heroin addicts. Tyrone decides that in order to support themselves, they should enter the illegal drug trade around Coney Island. With the promised money, each addict hopes to achieve their dreams. Harry and Marion want to open their own designer clothing store and escape Marion's oppressive parents, and Tyrone wants to move out of his family's low-income neighborhood and honor his late mother's memory. At first, business thrives. However, Tyrone is imprisoned after fleeing the scene of a drug gang assassination and Harry uses most of their earned money to post bail. Having spent their money, the three find it much more difficult to find heroin. Escalating drug baron violence around New York City and rising drug prices make matters worse, which leads to a brutal state of deprivation. Harry suggests that Marion earn money by having sex with her psychiatrist, which is successful but strains their relationship. After one of Harry's drug deals goes awry, he and Marion have a falling out and he leaves her. Overnight, he and Tyrone flee to Miami in order to buy wholesale product and make their money back. After the traumatizing hallucination, Sarah takes a subway to a television studio in Manhattan. Concerned about Sarah's barely stable psychotic state, the secretary at the studio calls for paramedic assistance, and Sarah is involuntarily committed to a psychiatric ward where she undergoes unsuccessful medication treatment. As a last resort, she is given electroconvulsive therapy, only to lose her mind completely. On the way to Miami, higher unregistered trademark increasingly infected arm forces them to visit a hospital in Georgia. A doctor notices the symptoms of drug abuse and Harry and Tyrone are arrested for drug possession. Tyrone must deal with hard labor, racist prison guards, and drug withdrawal. Harry is transferred from prison to a hospital to have his arm amputated. Back in New York, Marion meets with a pimp who supplies her with drugs in exchange for sex and her participation in degrading and graphic sex shows. Each character struggles with depression and hopelessness and is shown curling into a fetal position. In the film's final moments, Sarah dreams that she wins her favorite game show unregistered trademark Grand Prize with her son as the guest of honor. In her fantasy, Harry is well-dressed and successful and he and Marion are engaged. Sarah and Harry hug under the glowing stage lights while the crowd cheers. Cast: Ellen Burstyn as Sarah Goldfarb, Jared Leto as Harry Goldfarb, Jennifer Connelly as Marion Silver, Marlon Wayans as Tyrone C. Love, Christopher McDonald as Tappy Tibbons, Mark Margolis as Mr. Rabinowitz, Louise Lasser as Ada, Marcia Jean Kurtz as Ray, Sean Collette as Arnold, Marion Psychiatrist, Keith David as Little John, Marion's Pimp, Dylan Baker as Southern Doctor, Ajay Naidu as Mailman, Ben Shinkman as Dr. Spencer, Hubert Selby, J.R. as Laughing Guard, Darren Aronofsky as Visitor. Production. The film rights to Hubert Selby, Jr.'s book were optioned by Scott Vogel for Truth and Soul Pictures. In 1997, prior to the release of Aronofsky's film Euro Themes, the majority of reviewers characterized Requiem for a Dream in the genre of drug movies, along with films like The Basketball Diaries, Trainspotting, Spun, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. However, Aronofsky has said, in the book, Selby refers to the American dream as amorphous and unattainable, a compilation of the various desires of the story's characters. Style. As in his previous film, Euro, Aronofsky uses montages of extremely short shots throughout the film. While an average 100-minute film has 600 to 700 cuts, Requiem features more than 2,000. Split screen is used extensively, along with extremely tight close-ups. Long tracking shots and time-lapse photography are also prominent stylistic devices. In order to portray the shift from the objective, community-based narrative to the subjective, isolated state of the characters' perspectives, Aronofsky alternates between extreme close-ups and extreme distance from the action and intercuts reality with a character's fantasy. Aronofsky aims to subjectivize emotion, and the effect of his stylistic choices is personalization rather than alienation. The film's distancing itself from empathy is furthered structurally by the use of intertitles, marking the temporal progress of addiction. The average scene length shortens as the film progresses until the movie's climactic scenes, which are cut together very rapidly and are accompanied by a score which increases in intensity accordingly. After the climax, there is a short period of serenity, during which idyllic dreams of what may have been are juxtaposed with portraits of the four shattered lives. Release. Requiem for a Dream premiered at the 2000 Cannes Film Festival on May 14, 2000 and the 2000 Toronto International Film Festival on September 13 before a wide release on October 27. Rating. In the United States, a film was originally rated NC-17 by the MPAA, but Aronofsky appealed the rating, claiming that cutting any portion of the film would dilute its message. The appeal was denied and Artisan decided to release the film unrated. An R-rated version was released on video, with the sex scene edited, but the rest of the film identical to the unrated version. In the United Kingdom, a film was given an 18 certificate by the BBFC. Critical reception. A film received acclaim from critics and audiences alike, with the film aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes giving the film a 78% certified fresh rating and a 93% audience approval rating, with the site consensus though the movie may be too intense for some to stomach, the wonderful performances and the bleak imagery are hard to forget. Film critic James Berardinelli considered Requiem for a Dream the second best film of the decade, behind the Lord of the Rings film trilogy. The film also received an audience rating of 8.4 on IMDb. Accolades. Ellen Burstyn was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role as Sarah Goldfarb, but lost to dying young co-star Julia Roberts as Erin Brockovich in the film of the same name. She was nominated for several other awards including the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Motion Picture Drama and the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role. In 2007, Requiem for a Dream was picked as one of the 400 nominated films for the American Film Institute list AFI's 100 Years. 100 Movies, Soundtrack. The soundtrack was composed by Clint Mansell with the string ensemble performed by Kronos Quartet. The string quartet arrangements were written by Pulitzer Prize-winning composer David Lang. The soundtrack has been widely praised and has subsequently been used in various forms in trailers for other films, including The Da Vinci Code, Sunshine, Lost, I Am Legend, Babylon AD, and Zathura. A version of the recurring theme was reorchestrated for the film trailer for The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. The soundtrack also confirmed its popularity with the remix album Requiem for a Dream, Remixed, which contains new mixes of the music by Paul Oakenfold, Josh Wink, Jagz Kuna, and Delirium, among others. References. External links: Requiem for a Dream at the Internet Movie Database, Requiem for a Dream at AllMovie, Requiem for a Dream at Box Office Mojo, Requiem for a Dream at Rotten Tomatoes, Requiem for a Dream at Metacritic, an interview with Darren Aronofsky from 2000.